Thanks, listeners, for joining us for Elko Live today. It is the day where we are going to go outdoors and find out about all the cool things there are to do involving our public lands, whether you're looking for an awesome job, seasonal, or even maybe leading to a cool career. California Trail Interpretive Center and some really cool recreation planned for our public lands. Our guest today, and we have several guests today, so excited to jam-pack the studio with our guest from the Public Lands Bureau of Land Management. This program is called Your Public Lands, and we have Amanda Halsey ready to kick things off. She's from the California Trail Interpretive Center. Amanda, it's great to see you. I know that you had a little time off after a very busy holiday season.
Yeah, I did. I got to get out of town a little bit for New Year's, but I'm happy to be back. So getting right back to it at the Trail Center.
Well, you are very busy. We really appreciate all the things that you have organized. I was just talking to Tony Manfredi from Nevada Arts Council, and the more art, the more creativity, the more of this that we have, the more meaningful experience and our living here. It's just great that you've been able to bring in so many cool things, Amanda.
Yeah, absolutely. And hey, great segue. Let me tell you about the Nevada Wild Art exhibit that we have out at the Trail Center. So Suzanne Reese has put this together for us again. It's so wonderful. We have 14 Nevada artists this year, and our South Fork room is covered wall to wall with just beautiful art. And I'd like to, if you'd let me, read a little bit off of the flyer that she gave me.
Please.
All right. So what it says is, what do you think influences the work of our artists? Scientific analysis of facts, debates regarding water rights, mineral rights, range health, development and land use, or beauty of nature and wildlife. Each artist must find the ultimate answer within themselves. Our task as artists is to thoughtfully interpret and capture the essence of millions of miles within a frame.
That sounds like a perfect explanation for this exhibit.
Yeah, I love it so much. And we have so many wonderful artists as a part of it. We've got Patty Fox, Catherine Greider. We've got, of course, Suzanne and her husband, Gary, and their photography, which is beautiful. And then Lynn Kessler came out and she did an art her demonstration of her smoke art for us. And that was so impressive. One of 3 people in the whole world who does that smoke art.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and it's very impressive. So she did a little demo for us. It was a really nice reception that we had. We had little snacks and things like that, and we packed that South Fork room with people that are interested in seeing this Nevada art. So that was so wonderful. And of course, we do this to coincide as a tribute to the 39th National Cowboy Poetry Gathering.
Oh, Amanda, thanks for being such a great partner at California Trail Interpretive Center. Now, if you missed any of this, as we just talked about the reception, the exhibit is still up.
Yes, it's actually up until April, and so you can come on down, take a look at the art. It's all for sale, so if you fall in love with a piece, we'll wrap it up real nice for you and send you home with it.
Nice. And this is a Nevada Arts Council Basin to Range Exchange project.
Yeah, they do such wonderful stuff, and we love being partners with them. So yeah, they've put on this beautiful art exhibit out there, and some of the pieces are just breathtaking. One of my favorite pieces is of Dirt, the railway cat. Somebody did a tribute to Dirt, and it is gorgeous. They did it in colored pencil, and it looks fantastic.
Oh, that's so nice. And remembering Dirt from Ely there at the rail yard. So
yes,
that's great. So lots of great supporters. Northeastern Nevada Stewardship Group, Southern Nevada Conservancy, of course, our friends with BLM, Esmeralda High Desert Institute, the Art Barn, Nevada Arts Council, Basin to Range, and Everything Elko Magazine.
Yep, that's it. You got it. So thank you to all those wonderful people, those supporters of ours, and and for this art that we have out there. But that's not all that we have going on this February. Let me tell you a little bit about our open sewing program that we're going to be trying out. So one of our wonderful volunteers out there at the Trail Center is a seamstress, and we do about one program a month that revolves around sewing, and we have an old Singer 1800 Singer sewing machine out there with the foot treadle, and so it requires no electricity. It's really amazing. And then, of course, we always set up modern machines as well, and people will line up to use that 1800s Singer sewing machine instead of using the modern ones because it's just such a cool treat to have out there. Well, as we were doing these programs, we noticed that there seems to be a really big interest in Elko for sewing. And so we decided that the volunteers would put on an open sewing event that's going to happen every month on the second Sunday. So it's starting this February on the 11th. That's the second Sunday of the month. And what we're going to be doing is we're just going to have a community of people that are interested in sewing. So we'll have machines, or you can bring your own, and then you can bring your own projects, or our volunteers will have one that you can look online to get our the supply list for that, and then bring your supplies out to do the project with them. This month it's going to be a large bag that you can carry around all of your sewing supplies in. So the Trail Center is hosting the location only. So unlike our other programs, you will have to be providing your own supplies for this. But we will have a couple of machines that people can share. But if you want to bring your own, we can do that as well.
CaliforniaTrailCenter.org is the place to go to get that supply list, right, Amanda?
Yep, that's it. So if you just go to the events tab on that website, then you will find it there. It's just called Open Sewing.
This is so nice. And again, it doesn't look like there's any age requirement. All skill levels are welcome.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, we're just trying to build a community of people that are interested in sewing, because it is like a fun thing that people have kind of lost the skill for. But I think that there's a huge amount of people that want to build that skill up, or that are still doing it, that want to just be around other people that are interested in the same thing.
Oh, Amanda, that's fantastic. And I agree. I hear that. A lot of times we have our, big cosplay event coming back, Elko PopCon.
Yes.
People want to make their own costumes. A lot of people like to thrift, and sometimes their treasures need alterations.
Yes.
So,
and I think maybe that might be Brenda Waters' motive for putting this sewing class together, because she's tired of making everybody's costumes for them.
That is awesome. Yeah, that's great. And so the basics will be there.
Yep.
Okay.
We will have all kinds of things. And then if you want to bring your own snacks and drinks, you're more than welcome to do so, but they will not be provided at the Trail Center.
And you might make friends, and then you might want to share your snacks and drinks.
Exactly.
Oh, it's an open sewing event. California Trail Interpretive Center, second Sundays of the month. This one is February 11th, 9 a.m. to noon. Free, but bring your supplies. And that's even fun, because now we have a Joann's where you can go buy your stuff.
Absolutely. And I just dropped off a flyer for this over there. So hopefully they're letting people know when they come to pick up their supplies.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Amanda. Well, I know that's not all. You want to give a plug for some of the other the programs?
Yes,
that you've got?
absolutely. Let me just tell you what we're doing the rest of February for our free programs. Every Sunday at 1 p.m. we do either archery or knife and axe throwing in our little archery range in the back of the Trail Center. And then that is all ages are welcome. I think 7 and up for the axes, though. We don't want little kids throwing axes. It is what it is. And then for cowboy poetry, today we're going to be doing painting poems with Evie, and that is at 1 p.m. And I guess that's right now. So hopefully you guys are out there.
Hi, Evie.
And then tomorrow we'll be doing braided rugs, and that will be at 1 p.m. at the Trail Center as well. Again, all of these are free. And then on February 9th at 6 p.m., we are going to be having a romantic night hike that will be led by our NOS affiliates. So Macy is going to be leading that one. She wanted me to tell you guys to bring a flashlight. So you'll be out there on a romantic night hike, and it looks like we have quite a few signups for that already. So it's going to be a really nice night. And then if you want to stick around on the open sewing day, we will be doing fabric flowers as well. So after open sewing, we'll be doing an actual organized program that will be fabric flowers, and they're magnets, so you can put them up on your fridge. You can give them to your Valentine, because everybody knows that handmade gifts are the best. And then lastly, on February 24th at 1 p.m., we'll be doing crochet. So that has been a very popular one out there as well. We'll be crocheting a coaster on the 24th.
Oh, that's great. Amanda, thank you so much. There's so much to do. And again, most of these programs are absolutely free. They're just looking for enthusiastic partners and participants to help support the mission of California Trail Interpretive Center. And a lot of these arts are things that pioneers were doing along the trails.
Yeah, absolutely. So along with the craft or, hikes and things that we do out there, there's an interpretive component to it as well. So you're going to come out there and you're going to leave with a little bit more knowledge about how things used to be.
Sneaky. That's great. Amanda Halsey is our interpretive naturalist from California Trail Interpretive Center. Thank you so much, Amanda. We're going to switch over to your colleague from the Trail Center, Glenn Reynolds, and he's going to be talking more about something really, I'm excited to hear all about this. So I'm going to let Glenn talk about the archery range renovations, the new blacksmith shop, and then what you'll do, Amanda, is you'll be switching your microphone over so that we're going to get to meet a new guy, Steve, from the BLM, who's a rec planner, and that'll get us to some of our other guests here today. So welcome, Glenn. It's great to have you back here, and let's see, you got your, yeah, there we go. Hi.
It's good to be back. I actually came to Elko from the National Oregon Trail Interpretive Center in Baker City, Oregon. And up there we had developed over about 10 years planning and building our own blacksmith shop. And they got donated equipment that came in from Tennessee. I was in charge of the grand opening and started as a apprentice blacksmith up there. And then COVID came roaring in.
Wow.
Shut our shop down. Renovations of the facility, $6.5 million worth, and I migrated south. So that idea of a blacksmith shop, Paul Brownlee picked up on it. I had written up a new interpretive plan in Oregon for it. I showed that to him, and Paul started his magic. It's called funding requests. He brought in some anvils, and we've got a couple of different types of forges. We've got a gas or coal. And then just recently, through all the mud, we had a shed delivered, a Tough Shed. People have heard of that brand. And left some ruts behind in the process, but it's sitting out there like a monument to a potential thing that's going to happen, and it's going to happen. We're going to put together a functioning blacksmith shop. My hope is that we can get the community involved. My hope is that we can find what we found up in Oregon, which was a mentor blacksmith to come and help us get things set up, mentor some people in the art of blacksmithing. I had made it all the way to bending a horseshoe by the time things shut down. So, I mean, you start small and get bigger, but one of the most popular things to demonstrate is making a nail. Nails were the most common thing the blacksmiths made, and they could produce them in seconds. They got so good at this, so they could really, really do a good job of producing that kind of thing.
So I see a theme here. Glenn Reynolds, of course, from California Trail Interpretive Center. He's the interpretive lead ranger. He's telling a story about a craft. These are some lost arts. We were talking about blacksmithing. We were just talking about sewing. I've got a guest here that she's going to roll in a little bit about butchery. Yes, I said butchery. And it all comes in firefighting. You know, we got to have firefighters. That's part of the prospect as well. Gosh, Glenn, that's really, I think you'll get a lot of support for a blacksmith shop.
That's my hope. And my hope is that someone will hear this, or they know someone who can refer them to us, and we will pick up on that.
Are you looking for donations of artifact type things?
At this point, we are just forming and storming. That means figuring out what we need.
Okay.
But sometimes people have tools in the shed out back. Sometimes they have things that they can donate that help a lot. And so it would be something that if you're hearing this or know people, might be something to let us know about out at the Trail Center.
All right. Well, we've got friends at the Northeastern Nevada Museum, and I know
it's amazing what's out there.
Yeah, they've lent collections to the Sherman Station, the Elko Area Chamber headquarters.
Right.
Yeah, they've got a little blacksmith shop.
Up in Oregon, we actually had leather bellows donated that were almost 100 years old.
Wow.
That had traveled around the country and been rebuilt lovingly by someone's father. And they shipped them all the way out to us in Oregon and came out for the grand opening.
Wow.
And brought the family.
So, Glenn, how does this work in with the Battleborn Youth Challenge Academy? Are they helping out on this, or?
That's a very good question. Just saw them this past week. Saw Kyle and Ashley and talked to them about upcoming projects. If they can help with anything out at the Trail Center that is pertinent, we figure out what that is.
Oh.
That could be trail improvement. That could be invasive thistle removal. And they've removed over 100 bags of that in the past season.
Impressive.
So we certainly have options for them to be involved. So if we can plug them in and help us and help them in the process, it's a partnership.
Excellent. And it sounds like in those archery range renovations and equipment repair, you're also putting out a public plea?
Well, when the shed came in, it displaced our target zone for that lattice and bows and arrow. arrows, and basically we're going to redo things with the axe and knife to the left, and we already had the bows and that ladle to the right, but we will just move it a little bit to the left. Still, there'll be a safety parameter. Who knows, that blacksmith shop could be a great place to get out of the sun, store some of our equipment on occasion, and then we're going to use that magic thing called straw and hay to damp down some of the mud and loamy earth that freezes in the winter and creates kind of a mush. So we're working on all that, and that's all in the planning stage.
With respect to the environment, too, and the native plants and species, and not want to spread invasive species. And you must be a BLM guy, so that's cool. We're Glenn Reynolds. This is great, and it sounds actually more fun than a video game, all that stuff you just described.
I would put it more fun than a video game.
Yeah, and because a lot of video games
And it's
have these
analog,
things.
yeah. It's analog.
It's analog, so...
One thing real quickly, about blacksmithing, whether you're doing something exotic or basic, the sound of the bellows and the fire, the heat of
Yeah.
the fire and the glow of it is mesmerizing to people who come to watch it. They will stand for hours.
How
just to
much
be
fun
around
is
it.
this?
Yeah.
So we're going to keep track of your progress, Glenn. Glenn Reynolds, Interpretive Lead Ranger for California Trail Interpretive Center. We're going to send people your way if they have donations, any kind of contributions, just interested in what you've got going on, what you're throwing down out there.
Well, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you so much. That is a very cool aspect of California. See, they're always evolving and doing stuff based on what people want to see. So with that in mind, we're going to switch over and find out all about Steve Arguinchona. Oh, you need that microphone closer. Yes. Arguinchona. Yes, Arguinchona. Yep. Scoot up to that. There we go. Oh, perfect, Steve. Steve Arguinchona is the acting rec planner in the Tuscarora field office. Welcome, first of all. Can you tell us, maybe, are you new to this position? Or
I am new to this position. I've worked for the BLM for a while, but I took a detail from as a fire captain to the rec planner for this winter.
So have you been in the Elko area?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Since like 2014.
Okay. Well, I won't say welcome to Elko then, but thank you. Welcome to the position and being part of the public process and being a rec planner. So you're working on something kind of cool. Tell us about that, Steve.
Yes. Friday, February 23rd at 10 a.m. The BLM is partnering with the Nevada Outdoor School and the Elko Public Library for a trail hike at the Southwest Meadows Trailhead at South Fork. Book exchange, campfire and s'mores, and bookish crafts will be all the events there.
And that's something that people of all skill levels can do, or is it geared to a certain age, Steve?
It's for all skill levels. Anybody that wants to come can.
Sounds like fun. So bookish crafts, that might just be making something that's inspired. You're
making bookish crafts such as your book covers, possibly to markers and all that stuff.
Sounds really cool. Sounds like a fun time. Yeah. So as rec planner, is this something you've been doing for a while, Steve?
Just since this last October.
Okay. So yeah, are you also working on like the bike trails and that kind of thing?
I've actually talked about them. I am not working on them. That is a state lead project.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, they're working on that.
I talked to Leslie Creel a little bit, so she's really excited to come on and talk more. She's working on 2 different projects, so yeah. But really appreciates the work that the rec planner does, Steve. There are a lot of people that like to make you their friend. You know that, right?
Yeah, like this week already, NYTC stopped by and borrowed snowshoes that we had for their kids to go on a snowshoe hike this weekend. So yeah.
Very nice. Is this something you wanted to do for a while?
I'm currently in a master's program, so yeah, it's kind of urban planning and outdoor recreation, so it kind of is in line, and so I'm giving it a shot and seeing how it goes.
Well, we appreciate it, Steve. That's fantastic, and we need more planners, people who understand like these wide open spaces, right, and the balance and recreation and preserving, artifacts and yeah, very cool.
And the natural landscape.
Yes, because a lot of what we were learning about at Cowboy Poetry this week has to do with that too. So, Steve, thank you so much. I just want to remind everybody again, the Bookworm Trail Trek, Friday, February 23rd, and it's being co-hosted by Nevada Outdoor School, MyBrary, and AmeriCorps, pitching in as usual, and with our BLM rec planner, the acting rec planner for the Tuscarora Field Office, Steve Arguinchona. Thank you so much. Yeah, appreciate it. And we're going to switch over here now. He's like comfortably back in his corner. He's like, I am done with that. Okay. Well, would you like Heather to go first, Maddie? Or
No, I'm
you're ready? Okay, ready to go. Awesome.
neck out over
Okay. We're going to turn that microphone closer to you.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Perfect.
Here we are.
Perfect. Madi Harris is our retention recruitment specialist with BLM. And Madi, you have been out doing community engagement, visiting schools, and you were at the Great Basin College for a few weeks. And the goal is to get some firefighters on board.
Yes, that is definitely our goal. We're trying to hopefully get a couple more numbers than last year. And it looks like we've kind of reached that goal for those entry-level positions that we were hiring for originally. And we're still doing outreach now. Here with me, we have Heather Steel, who has been a great help in the project that we've been putting together for the Spring Wildland FF Academy. And it has been an ongoing project. It kind of came from county. It was a little bit of Matt Peterson's idea. All of the agencies were able to come together and get some volunteers in to kind of help stick their hands in where they could, as far as getting instructors for some of the units that we need to teach for the rookie school portion. So basically, it is a 5-week cohort, and the first cohort starts on February 9th, and then the last date for that is March 22nd. It'll have all of the entry-level classes that you would need to basically come out of this program ready to jump into a fire position within county, BLM, NDF, and Forest Service. So, and I'll let Heather speak on this a little bit more, because she's definitely been holding the weight on her shoulders for sure for this whole program.
Well, I know it's a great partnership, and Maddie's probably being pretty modest. I know, Heather, you work well with others. You always have. So Heather Steel is CTE facilitator for the Elko County School District. So dropping in on this program. This is cool because this is school district wide. It's not just limited to Elko Spring Creek.
It is. We currently have students who have registered from West Wendover, Wells, Elko, Spring Creek. It would be open to students in Carlin, Jackpot, and Owyhee if they so chose.
And basically the requirements that you be 18 about the time you
So we're offering it right now to high school seniors with the intention that by the time that they either finish the training and or graduate, they would be prepared to enter the workforce. And in order to enter this workforce, you have to be 18.
Okay. And the academy starts pretty soon. I think you were still taking some late registrations since this is the first go-round.
Sure. So we originally we posted the due date being January 24th, and then we pushed it to February 2nd, which is today. But really, I'm not going to dig deep. So if there's a few stragglers wanting to come in over the weekend while we're tightening up our details on our ends, I'm sure we would be happy to take those students. Yep.
All right. And there are 2 different cohorts, right? 2 different sessions?
There are. So that first one, again, starts on February 9th, and it'll run for pretty much like 5 weeks to March 22nd. And then the second cohort is April 12th through May 31st, hoping that the students who do winter sports or spring sports would be able to pick the other one.
Mm-hmm. And a lot of this is going to be online, but with some field training, and that's going to be in their hometowns, so they don't have to come to Elko.
Yeah, they don't have to travel. We'll work through either the instructors from our partners, which we're so thankful for, traveling out to the sites to do in-person training with the students, or through Zoom if it's not possible. But then when the students need to do their field training, they will have an instructor in their hometown to take them out and do that field training.
And how would you describe the difficulty of the course, if it's okay to ask that? I mean, Maddie, do you want to?
Maddie might want to take that one.
All right, because sometimes people can be a little intimidated at the thought, right?
Yeah, for sure. There's a couple, I believe there's about 5 or 6 classes, and I wouldn't say that they're difficult by any means. I know that anybody has just as much upper hand as anybody else, and if I can make it through it, so can anybody. But it's pretty much just being able to learn and comprehend and understand. And so it'll be 1 week you'll go through a class, and then on the Friday, or a couple Fridays or however it's going to play out, you'll go and do the field day with the instructor. And so everything that you had just learned that previous week online, you'll be doing out in the field and using your hands. And I know there's a lot of different ways to learn. So definitely being able to take something from the classroom and then taking it out and maybe, getting to actually do it physically is a lot easier to learn.
Okay, that's really encouraging. And so between both Madi and Heather, you can get some students, with some goals. We talk about this a lot. I mean, even if you don't know what you want to do, it's really cool to be doing something because it could lead to the thing you really, really want to do, right, Madi?
Yeah, absolutely. And I had no idea that this is where I would be 5 years ago. So I always tell everybody, if they ask, do you think maybe this is the right fit for me? And I just tell them to try it because you're never going to know until you actually do it. Mm-hmm. And it's great for a lot of high schoolers because, it can be the short term if they're going to college or whatever. And so that's what I kind of tell parents as well. So if any parents are listening, please, ask your kids, ask any high schoolers that if this is something that they would be interested in.
All right. And again, the best way to find out more, I guess, between Heather and Madi, you go to your school's website. Is that in drill down?
The Elko County School District website, okay. ECSDNV.net, will take you to the application, if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
And you could end up again with a cool career like Madi Harris, who is the retention recruitment specialist for the BLM Elko District and promoting the Wildland FF Academy. And Heather, we'll have you hop back on too as a CTE facilitator because, again, your job is to sort of recognize and encourage students. Academia is great, and it's always nice to get a hybrid, of some learning in the classroom and some other life experiences. But we are really lacking in the trades and the skills, right?
We are. Well, and so first of all, happy CTE month to everybody. February is CTE month, so I'm happy to be here, and it's amazing to hear about blacksmithing and sewing, and those are all opportunities that we have available to our kids. We're working on a big project right now to pull in youth apprentices related to youth education and sports and recreation management. So I'm super happy to hear all of the things that are going on. So I just added you guys to my partner list. I'll be in touch,
Steve. Yep.
Regarding that. We're looking for industry partners who, like Elko County Fire Protection District and the Bureau of Land Management and NDF and the U.S. Forest Service, who came to us and said, we have an employment gap and we need help with it. And then this Fire Science Academy thing was born. Of course, our intention is to hopefully next year be able to actually put it within our school schedule so the students are able to train in school to be prepared by the time that they leave. We're talking about adding an EMT component to it. We're super excited about bringing our industry partners in and really getting our students involved with the real world, right? We can only teach them so much in a classroom. So we're looking for partners and industry partners who need to fill an employment gap all the time.
Well, Heather, that's great news. Again, we do a lot of things, but sometimes we end up not doing for ourselves, and we're hurting for that. The keynote speaker for the Cowboy Poetry Gathering, Jeff Mundell, just talked about this, and I said, you're welcome, Heather. I interviewed him about butchery because he said, my brother is a butcher in Sacramento. He is the only butcher in the entire Sacramento Valley. And you know how many people they have there? And there is a demand for something called butchery, which I know it's something you've been working on. And we can talk more about this too. You're coming back next week for CTE month. So.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're excited. Trying to get that food science lab up and going at Spring Creek High. So that we can start teaching students that. You think about if they have one meat cutter in all of Sacramento, that one man is feeding a lot of people. And it's an important skill to have as well. Of course, we're always looking for these opportunities for students to get those high demand, high wage jobs where, for an example, as a firefighter, we have students that work and fight fire during the summer, and then that pretty much pays their tuition for school for the fall and spring semester. And
Yep, it's all part of when you learn where your food comes from, and you learn obviously these skills on the ground, whether it's carpentry, blacksmithing could lead to any number of trades in mining industry. I mean, there are just a lot of opportunities. Heather.
For sure. Metalworking is definitely something that's used a lot in today's society.
Yes, and you could end up doing it, you think it's fun, and then it can end up being your passion. So.
Well, and we went through a stage where all of the students wanted to be blacksmiths because students typically gravitate towards whatever careers based on the important, like, big reality shows that are happening. And so Forged in Fire on the History Channel, I think, brought blacksmithing to be cool, right? Those guys building those weapons and knives and then testing them out.
Kind of like archery. Julie Gabrielson from Endow, so they have hundreds of archery students. Katniss, we have her to thank for
There
that.
we go.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep.
All right. Super cool and popular. And again, it's about learning to do for ourselves and for others, for our community, and creating these important opportunities for our students who want to do stuff with their hands.
For sure.
Yeah.
We have a lot of them in this county.
Yeah, we do.
We really do.
Great goals. Well, Heather's going to come back next week because you're coming in for the school show, I believe. CJ Anderson said, take it away.
Oh, awesome.
I think so. Yeah, I think
Did
that's
he?
I think so.
He gave me his whole day, and I'll take it.
I figure. And today it's been, of course, this shows how much collaboration there is on our public lands in all the programs and opportunities. Maddie, did we get to everything you were hoping to today? Oh, please, let's switch that microphone over to Madi Harris.
Just the last thing that I wanted to add is that we do have applications open currently for the Type 2 hand crew that we run out of Elko District, the Eastern Nevada agency. And so that is, if you're not familiar, it's, I guess, kind of like a shot crew, but just a little less of the work, I guess. I mean, for lack of better description. I could go way into detail, but I won't. But that application can be found online on Nevada Fire Info /ENA, I believe. And if not, you can reach out to BLM office directly, and they will redirect you to my line, and I will get you all the information that you need. But that is a paper application or a PDF application that you can mail or email in or turn in by hand, which you don't see very often lately. So I think that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah, an in-person thing is nice. And so do you, the deadline you said is right away? Or
The deadline will be April 1st. And then if you are actually 16 and you won't be 18 by the time of fire season, you can do camp crew, which is a little bit different. And that application is due by April 22nd.
Perfect. Thanks so much, Maddie. That's awesome. We're gonna, Glenn. Anything else? We got you covered, Glenn. Got Amanda. Are you covered too, Amanda? I'll get you.
This
Yeah,
one?
yeah.
I always like to plug that we are always accepting volunteers out there at the Trail Center. So if you're interested in doing any sort of demonstrations or helping out with any of our programs, or even just working in the gift store, we are always looking for volunteers out there as well. So you can come out there, or you can give us a call at 775-738-1849, just like the Gold Rush year.
Thanks, Amanda Halsey. She's an interpretive naturalist. Glenn, anything closing from you?
And just to add, too, that we also have core programming, interpretive program at the Trail Center. Our main core program is called Gold Fever, of all things. And you might even learn that that original gold nugget that was found at Sutter's Mill is still in existence with the Smithsonian, and it has teeth marks from where they bit it to make sure it was gold.
Well, that's
We don't have the original with us, but we can talk about it and show you a picture.
Awesome.
So come on out for that. And plus we have pop-up programming. I do one on ancient cultures where you can make your own little petroglyph and things of that nature. So come out and see us, ask about it. We'd love to see you.
California Trail Interpretive Center's lead ranger, that's Glenn Reynolds. Thank you, listeners, for joining us.